So I heard somebody saying that the stream went offline. That is problematic and it should not have happened. I don't have any... I'm not seeing any issues on my end. At the moment, anyway.
Good God.
Hey.
Guess those sirens are for you, huh? Good
yeah.
thing you found us. You're not the first to come through here by...
This is the Freeman. The Combine's reckoning has come.
Look, we're just a lookout for the Underground Rail.
Like...
Main station's right around the corner.
Dead
Just
silence.
started on the right foot. Meanwhile, let my Vortigaunt friend here give you a jolt to get you going. Be careful now. We really can't afford to get noticed. Civil protection catches you down here, it's bad news for the whole railroad.
We serve the same.
Did the stream just forcibly reboot? It seems like it.
Get
It's
out
kind of
here.
weird.
Isolate. Inquire.
Are we gonna be going soon?
Nah, I think I'll just hang out here for a while.
Hit the road, Jack.
Usually have some funny dialogue if you just chill.
Report counter behavior to a civil protection team immediately.
So apparently my stream forcibly restarted. I don't know if you're having that issue. And if you do, I cannot explain it. It's just super strange. Because I'm not seeing any issues here. What am I, yeah, I can't beat up, I can't destroy a rock with my crowbar. That's gonna ruin it. Well, but at least we got through, right? That's the main part. That is, so to speak, the important bit. Yes. Now we have these things.
Citizen reminder. Inaction is conspiracy. Report
Tasty.
counter behavior to a civil protection team immediately.
Well, who's gonna keep it being eaten, I suppose. We've got more. Oh, here's a combine. Just gonna stand still until he shows himself again. Maybe? There he is. Oh, they've got a turret. Gotta be careful now. How's this look? Now this would be ideal here is some kind of oh, I don't know, grenade perhaps?
Station 12, come in. Station 12.
This is Station 8. We heard 12 go down and out. The surgical strike units are targeting railway stations. Repeat, civil protection is coming down on underground stations. We're already
Yeah,
getting
I'm
refugees
shooting it
from the
already.
rail line. Looks like we're...
Station 8, do you copy? Station 8, are you there? We have confirmed reports of manhacks. Repeat, they're filling the underground with manhacks.
Manhack.
Report counter behavior to a civil protection.
These people are really annoying. Ultimately, not really a threat to us.
Report counter behavior.
shit. So now it's just gonna shoot rockets at us for a bit.
Report counter behavior to a civil protection.
Meaning we should probably leave. That's our signal to go.
Citizen reminder. Inaction is considered. Report counter behavior to a civil protection team immediately.
So that lambda sign is usually a sign that there's resistance. The lambda sign from Black Mesa
Alert. Evidence of
has become a sort of a resistance symbol in this context. I'm letting myself be swallowed by these. I don't remember what they're actually called, but I hate them and they are gross. Yeah, this is.
Over here!
Oh shit! Sorry.
Keep going, friend. That station was raided, but there's others up ahead.
I will keep going. Snuff time. Snooze, I mean. Yeah, and they're gonna come through here. They're gonna come through the goddamn roof. No, they're not. They're gonna shove barrels through here. And then we might leave. No, we can't leave. Okay. Hey, quit shooting at me. That's a nice one. Well, let's shoot him right through his foot. His feet. There we go. Come on, join us. Be careful where I wave that thing. Oh yeah, I will absolutely be very careful about where I wave that thing. Definitely, I will do my best to do that. Please pardon me one moment. It seems like people who are... I'm basically... well, it seems like the people who are watching is people I know. At least that one of them is, so I will ask you for your pardon for just one moment while I check something. That's gone kind of screwy for me. Let's see. Also, the chat window is way out of line. I need to fix that. This is the problem with not actually seeing what you're doing very clearly. I beg your pardon. I'm thinking that this this thing here just takes away from. Peter, I want you to write something for me. Anything. I realize this is some tedious crap right here. It is not. Huh? Okay, this is mostly down to me being an idiot and not, Yeah. Okay. That's all fine. I just want to see that the chat window ends up somewhere where it doesn't, where it isn't insanely annoying. Like, Peter, you should join me over Discord, why not? You could, it's fine. What, readjusting overlay settings? I'm not a professional streamer, though. But yeah, you're right, it's really shitty, but it's also kind of hard to test. At least, I didn't know how to test it. I know how to do a bandwidth test, and I know how to do a bandwidth test, but I don't know how to like test drive the chat, for instance, because when it's a static image, it doesn't actually load anything. The stream has to be sort of active, I think. I may be wrong. Maybe wrong. It's entirely possible that I do not know of which I speak. Yeah, give me some ammo. Well, you, the viewer, can tell me if the chat window is now looking appropriate for where it is, and if it's less distracting with a white overlay background. Because I was just trying it out. Honestly, I thought it looked a little ugly myself, but I was hoping it would make text easier to read, but I think this is fine. Also, Peter, do you want in on this? Yes or no? I don't know if he's actually in the stream anymore. Anybody can join for voice chatty while we play, actually. That would be fun. Prezek, or Tusha Lover. Oh, I get it. I see what you did there. Nice. So if you want to be on stream, then that's something you can absolutely do. Because I think voice, like guest commentary, is probably the funnest. So, oh, there's a lot of these things here.
Protection team alert. Evidence of anti-civil activity in this community. Contained.
Well, if you want to guest commentate over Discord and don't mind being included in the stream, then that's perfectly fine. Just give me a holler. That's something I'm gonna try and solve eventually. It's one of my biggest issues right now, and I guess probably an issue for noob streamers. I'm gonna die. I haven't been paying attention. That's the problem right there. Is that in order to have a guest commentators, they either have to watch the stream, which is laggy. Not much, maybe, but enough for it to be hard to do, like a live commentary. It is live, not really. A little to the left, you say? A little to the left. Yeah, okay, I got it. It seems to be, like, really weirdly centered for some reason, and I'm not sure why. There we go. Oh, jeez. Pulling barrels at me. This is bad. And you can jump up on this thing and maybe make a... No, I don't. I can just get over here by myself. No, I won't die. Too late. I already did. No, but I was saying that, yeah, I don't know how, like, people who stream a lot solve that problem with lag in the spectator video. Because you can stream things using Discord, right? That's entirely possible, but like, and I guess if you have Discord Nitro, you can stream in 60 FPS to the people who are watching, and that's probably a lot better. I'm gonna run. Run like a scared little bunny. Ow! I'm almost dead. I know that's like when people used to do Let's Plays in the olden days. In ye olden days, there was like a third party, like a video server you could stream to, so the people in other places could watch. But then you weren't streaming stuff like to a site like Twitch or anything. It was just you were allowing people to see the video you were. For the game you were playing, so you could have audio commentary from other people. Or of course you could screen share. Oh, you wrote to me on Discord. Well, I need to see that. So yeah, you can call me. It should be working. We'll notice very quickly if it isn't. Actually, let me call you instead. That's fine. Hello.
Hello.
I'm just gonna check our audio levels. Say something,
Yeah?
please.
I'm saying something repeatedly, and I'm gonna keep saying something until you tell me to stop. Because I'm very good at not keeping my mouth shut when I need to. So I'm just gonna keep doing this for a while. Eventually I'm gonna have to breathe. Hopefully. I'm gonna be able to breathe. And then I'm just gonna continue talking until you finally tell me I can stop.
Okay, if you stop now and you say "pa" like loudly into your mic.
Directly into my mic?
Yeah.
Okay. Pa!
Okay. Yeah. I did just need to check the level so that was actually registering you in the capturing your mic audio.
Yeah, well, I'm here.
It was. It turned out.
Good. That's good.
I might actually raise this up a little bit.
So as far as I can tell, we are doing some physics puzzles.
Some very basic ones, but yes. I'm also lowering the in-game audio because...
According to a certain someone, I'm not loud enough. Am I supposed to take that quite personally, maybe?
No, probably not. Since it's my fault, let's just increase the output volume a bit.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better? Say something, please.
I'm talking. I'm once again talking until someone tells me to stop talking.
All right.
I don't know how long I... There we go. There we go.
Is that better? Yeah. Turn down the game audio. Yeah. This is the issue because in my OBS, I haven't figured out a way to separate the audio coming from, for instance, you in this case, and the audio coming from the game. It's just capturing everything in one sort of thing.
So then you have to locally decide that, hey, I want the audio to be set lower.
Yeah.
Outside of that. Yeah.
Then again. Okay, let's see. What are we doing here?
Yeah. You seem to be playing with bricks currently.
This seems to be the order of the day.
Oh, I remember when this game came out and everyone was talking about how cool the physics engine was, because the physics actually worked. So this is probably what this is about. Look, we have a physics engine. We can use it. It's super cool. Play with our physics engine.
Yeah.
We can make a drawbridge. Well, not a drawbridge, a springboard.
Okay.
Springboard is what it's called.
We got ourselves up here. Is that... Oh yeah. Now we're on the right side. Now we're gonna get killed by a helicopter instead. Awesome.
Hooray! Yeah, that thing looks scary.
I'm gonna run away.
I have to tell you, fascists are even creepier.
Oops. Well, that happened.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Just caught up. Yeah.
I died.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what helicopters do too.
They do, don't they?
Yeah. Like they really do. Especially when they have like creepy, weird plated armor on top of them. Like, how do you see out of that thing?
I'm gonna lower the game audio additionally.
Yeah.
Maybe half.
I'm not exactly the loudest person on the planet either.
It's actually kind of hard. Oh yeah, now I am really, really loud myself. Oh, sorry. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Just tweaking things.
Yeah.
But you say you've seen people do this on stream before, this kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Mostly when it comes to like, oh, I need to move this over because now my basic speaking setup doesn't work with this new game. Like, you won't believe how many times I see people done that. People who do professionally stream. So that happens quite often.
I'm gonna get my butt shut off again. And that did happen, in fact. Great.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Right in the butt.
I think I need to find a different approach to this. No, this was the wrong approach. This is super embarrassing.
But like, you're in a very interesting spot.
Yeah, I'm...
This
Oh.
game is designed that this is not, like from a game design perspective, this spot is not supposed to happen, right? Where you've found a checkpoint where there's no way for you to heal. You're at
Yeah.
5 HP, so you can't really progress forward. So of course the game has to let you go backwards until you find a healing spot. But where's the nearest healing spot?
Yeah,
It should
and
be-
you can't actually go backwards as far as I know. So my
That
guess,
is really interesting.
it feels like it's not good.
Like from a modern design point, that's just not properly playtested. Well, maybe not properly playtested, but like not proper level design.
Oh, it got away.
Should not be allowed to have a position where it's this difficult. Maybe it's just that playtesters are really good at the game, and that running past this helicopter with 5 HP is no difficulty to them, but it seems weird.
It does.
Yes, game design flaws
Yes.
are some of the best things to talk about on stream, because it's so easy to always find all the little details that didn't quite get fixed in a game. So being that annoying know-it-all who's like, this isn't done, and this isn't done, and that isn't done either, is hilariously fun and so easy.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. I'm yet again trying to tweak your volume.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there we go. No wonder you're too low.
What?
No, I'd set your like individual volume in the chat like to way lower from like a time before.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
That makes sense. There we go. Now everything's nice, loud and clear. Now we can hear me sarcastically snark about perfectly understandable game design flaws that we detect in this game.
Totally. I'm into this.
Excellent. So I don't know what kind of stuff we were doing back in the day when this was good quality graphics. Because like I remember this game came out and it was absolutely beautiful and gorgeous.
It's not horrible, I think.
But like by modern, it's not really though. But when I looked at this at first, I thought it was the first Half-Life.
Oh, really?
That is how big our perspectives have changed on what good graphics is.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, this is the game that I remember this game bragging about its physics engine, and we just saw a board fly through the steel gate. Like literally, it's like whoop! Like I'm quantum tunneling on. Ah,
I need to sort of figure out
yeah, I
how
mean,
the
it's
hell.
like the technical side of it is
Yeah.
kind of rough, but the design of it is really good.
Right.
Like, look at this screen right now, all the objects you put in here. Like when you were looking into the tunnel and we saw those tires and all that, it's just beautiful.
The aesthetics are still very compelling, I think.
Exactly.
And also, I completely forgot about this important game mechanic, which you can apply. You can distract these things. Now, they want to eat everything they pick up.
Right.
That was dumb. Well, you can sort of,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And I don't have to go into, I don't have to fight the helicopter. I'm being a...
No, the helicopters should not be shot. Probably. It looked pretty armored. As in, like, shooting that thing is probably going to be a waste of ammo.
I think actually you shoot it. We don't need anisotropic filtering and motion blur. Well, we don't need it, but I can like it.
Yeah, yeah.
What do we? We don't need specular. I don't know what that is really.
Specular what?
Specular lighting? Is it called that?
When it comes to, like, graphics in games, it's something I know almost nothing about. Like, graphics in video games. Which is really sad, since I brought up the topic. But it's like, to me, what's interesting is more, okay, how do we use these graphical elements in order to guide the player in a level? Or how do we design the level, and specifically mechanics, generally speaking? But, I mean, in a shooter, you don't have that many interesting mechanics going on. But how do we design the levels, in this case, to create the experience we want to create?
And they're usually I vaguely remember that they're pretty good about teaching you how to use everything.
Valve are known for being exceptionally good at playtesting, which is like specifically playtesting level design,
Right.
which is basically how you make really good levels.
On the other
You get a
hand,
lot of data on what players actually do in this space and how to guide them.
oh shit! I'm sorry for we got attacked.
Oh yeah.
Scary.
Suddenly buzzing, flying thingamabobs.
Flying saws.
Yeah.
The thing is, we are so spoiled by facial animation in games, like even bad games. Okay, this is better than a bad modern game
Yeah.
when it comes to facial animation, but we've been so spoiled by The Last of Us and Uncharted that it's just hard to take anything else seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Those games were incredible.
Naughty Dog, like, don't ever stop being awesome at facial animation. Oh god, more flying Gillette razors.
I find it interesting though, the moment in that room with the... Exactly, when they introduce these dangers, right?
Yeah.
Because the timing of it first presenting you with a safe place, like an area where there's no danger, you're safe, you can breathe, you were just shot at and like almost killed, and then you ran through some tunnels and have to solve some puzzles. And then you arrive at this place with this sympathetic face to get you a moment of relief. And then they give you that moment, and then they immediately quite abruptly shatter it to show you this new enemy.
Yeah.
And I haven't paid attention enough to playing this game so far to see if they've done that consistently, because I can imagine that is a strategy they're using to making you feel hunted. Like there's nothing actually chasing you down here.
It just makes
You're
you
just
feel like it.
exploring on your own.
Yeah, yeah.
But when it's harrying the moments where you feel, I can relax, then it makes that feeling of being in danger and being chased stronger.
I think that is a super interesting sort of like the psychology behind that is really interesting to me. Like the way they manipulate how you sort of try and you know, affect how you feel about stuff when there's no actual threat present, really. That's kind of interesting.
Absolutely. Like, this is also another interesting example. I think that one up there cannot... Okay, it can harm you. Never mind. They could break into the space.
Yeah.
But for a long time there, they literally could not harm you. It's just a reminder, hey, there are dangers nearby. And I think they also appeared while you weren't looking at them. So they appeared literally suddenly noises behind you with some sparks flying.
This has to be where it came from. Yeah.
This appears to be where you came from.
I just got disoriented. Oh, this is definitely where it came from. I don't want to go back here. There's a director's cut, which which you can play up at the same time. They think they talk a lot about design choices and stuff like this.
Yeah. Gosh, that sounds so interesting. Yeah, there we go. Back on.
Oh god. These things are so goddamn creepy.
The flyers?
Yeah. It's like, don't fly at my face with razor blades.
That is pretty creepy.
That is the
They
worst.
also have this habit of appearing when you're not looking.
Yeah. But
And
no,
I think that's quite intentional.
probably it's like, oh, he's feeling safe. Well, nope. Let's.
So, presumably this is done not by any triggers and stuff like that. I mean, there's probably the triggers like when the player reaches this place, then we throw out this, this enemy. But I would imagine that, like, if you look at this case, like the place we're just about ambushed by them, you're walking into space where you've got a shining bright red light over on the left. Of course, the player is going to look to the left. So once the player enters into the area and looks over to the left, then we spawn these things to the right, and it's going to be behind the player. It's like you don't even need to know where the player is looking, or test for that at all, because you can just assign the level so that the player will look in a certain direction. Which is pretty cool.
You forget, like, at least I do, because I don't know anything about game design really. That, yeah, like these kind of visual cues that draw your attention to places. That's
Yeah.
super fascinating. And obviously
Yeah,
something
they're
you have to pay
really
attention to.
important. I mean, as a player, you kind of do automatically, like, but as a designer, it's one of your main tools, right? Like, I can put a light here, so the player will look here. Or I can put an object here that the player will look at. Because one of the difficult things about designing a level is just getting the player to do stuff you want him to do. Because if you throw players into a virtual space, they're just gonna never know what they need to do. They're just gonna run around everywhere like crazy hens. Basically. And they're gonna be really bored, because like there's nothing to do here, even though you put tons of content in there.
Yeah.
So most of the time you need to show players where to pay attention. Or they're gonna feel lost in that space. And I don't know if you noticed this, but pretty much every place you go to is just one path forward, and then you find yourself in a big room where you can explore some nooks and crannies, and then you go back into a really long path. But when you're playing this level, I don't know, do you feel that you are basically following a path, or do you feel that you are exploring something? Or running from something?
I think I feel more like the sensation of being chased.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm exploring it because I've played it a lot of times before. So there's nothing. It's not really a question of discovery anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you do feel chased constantly, and that does make you want to like go fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh crap!
And it's
No,
interesting
no.
because most of the time there's no most of the time in this game you're not actually facing any threat. Because most of the time you're just running through a tunnel, and then suddenly out of nowhere appears a threat. and I think that is what makes you feel chased. Like, these were not there when you entered, right?
No. I don't think so.
So I think what happened is you got to a certain point, and then it probably just spawned somewhere right around the corner. And they figured you'd be looking at the, like, that it was a high enough likelihood that you would look at the crab up there. Or the thing that's drawing you up into its mouth.
Yeah.
And that would be enough of a distraction for you to suddenly be ambushed.
I'm gonna feed.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful level design. How they're reusing the tunnel you were just in, but now you're just traveling right above it. When you go back to the place you were before, like you went back into that open area outside of the tunnel, where you saw that kind of enclosed area you were in before, like this, the ones with the fenced-in passageway you walked through, and you saw enemies there. Another cue to remind you, hey, you are being chased. Like showing you, I was there, now they're there, where I was.
They're hot in my
That was
heels
beautiful.
style of thing.
Exactly. And now what's really beautiful about this is they're reusing the same space. They just built 2 floors of it and put and this giant entire pipe that you've been running underneath, they just turned that into a very narratively consistent obstacle. It's really cool.
This is super interesting to hear, by the way.
That's good, because I'm not trashing anything right now. I'm just lauding them for good game design.
Thanks to Alizon Priscilla. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's my first subscription, I think. No, not my first. That's my 9th subscription. People are watching this, apparently.
Oh, nice.
At least 9 people are watching this, which is more than I actually thought would. Let's see. I seem to be stuck here. Where do I go?
Oh. That is interesting.
Because it feels like they're trying to draw me in here, but then again...
Did you find something in there? Like maybe a little bit of hidden loot?
No, I didn't. That was kind of empty. But no, I think I just went the wrong way.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it looks like you did.
Just gonna... Peter is saying that he's looking forward to us heading into Ravenholm later.
Yeah, I read he was talking something about the zombie level.
Yeah. Have you played this before?
I have played a little bit of this game. Mostly the opening parts where like you start getting shot at and you're feeling really chased. I don't think I've played quite... Yes, I think I have played this far once, maybe. The problem is, of course, any kind of shooter game, and I will just eventually come to a point where I can't aim. And then it becomes kind of difficult.
God, sorry.
Yeah, you're getting attacked by things. They're trying to shave your face in a way that you don't want to be shaved.
No, I dislike being shaved.
I get that.
I'd say.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan of shaving, me neither.
You gotta be hey, what are you doing? Get out of here.
Yeah, and I don't think these are trying to shave off your beard. It's more like they're trying to shave off your entire face.
With bullets.
I was talking about the razor blade people still.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice big red hint, by the way.
That one, yeah, exactly. It's like, look here, there's stuff here. You need to pay attention to this. And you see how dark this room is?
Yeah.
Do you think it would... How long do you think it would take an average player to find this little dust if that red light hadn't been there?
Oh, shit.
Exactly. This is the power of putting just a light somewhere. Holy moly, that's a lot of explosives.
It makes total sense for them to be here, too. I don't know where else you would put exploding barrels.
That seems like an excellent way to, like, they just threw you down into a room. They gave you a bunch of explosive barrels, And they were betting on the fact that the player is going to go, oh, I want to explode those. Right?
Because, yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
Uh,
Because basically they threw a bunch of enemies at you that you could not defeat otherwise, but they also gave you this ability to just feel powerful and feel cool, while at the same time making you feel chased by tons of enemies.
let's see. Can we get up here? I hope so. No.
Mm-hmm.
We're going behind the fence into the red lighted room.
Yeah, see? They're using those red lights pretty consistently to say, hey, you need to go here, you need to go here. This is where you're going, this is the right path. Which, again, makes sense. And, like, picking a red light like that. It's interesting, because it's not only are they using lighting to show you where to go, like in most basic fashion, they're also teaching you a language of this particular type of light means go here. And it makes sense to have it be a red one just setting wise. In the setting, a red dangerous light does fit in beautifully, and it also distinguishes it quite neatly from all the fluorescent lights that allow you to see anything at all, to let's like have light in the scene. But there's also the fact that most animals are, generally speaking, going to look at something that's red, because red is like danger, danger, danger. So we're always going to look at red things. Like compared to the tiny yellow light that you have on your left when you're approaching that wheel, the right wheel. We're not even looking at that, and it's because the red lights, well, partly they're red, so they're alarming. But it might also be because the game has taught us that there's likely, if there's a red light, we should probably go there because it's probably the right path.
Yeah. Well, it is working though. I mean, I go into the places where the red light is, and
Exactly.
And like in this case, I mean, are we talking about like the same kind of language of signaling here, where the wheel is red, the light is not? So that's telling us.
I mean, the red wheel, yeah, you could talk about that. But I'm more thinking the light is exactly the same. It appears to be exactly the same object as the other one. They just changed the color of the light. Like, it's literally the same model used, but it's just a different color, and then we don't pay attention to it in the same way. That's why I thought that was an interesting example.
What? Okay. This is kind of not really sure. Am I missing something? Oh, I am missing oxygen. I should be getting some of that.
Yeah, I hear oxygen is good for surviving. Oh look, there's a red light on the other side. We're supposed to go on the other side.
Wait, which what?
Do you see the giant red light on the other? There's a massive grate in the middle of the entire scene, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And on the other side of it, there's a red light. A little further down, I think.
Oh, there it is.
Might be merged beneath the water.
Yeah, I need to see to try to.
So it appears, since we want to go there, we're in some kind of puzzle.
I'm wondering.
Something to do with water level, because there was a really that spinning wheel is obviously a thing we need to do stuff with, and it's also very, very bright red. Well, not a bright red, but it's very red, so it's probably important.
I was thinking that maybe I could. Let's see. Can we? If I turn on the wheel more, will the water level? Will the water level recede? Probably not. It doesn't look like it.
So when you're interacting with the water wheel, it's you just press a button, like an interact button.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
no-
the red light above water, Peter, I think is where we came from. Because I remember there being a red light showing you to go this way.
I was gonna see if this does anything. I don't think it does. There is a water sound when I do that. but it may well be that it's just the same effect being triggered again and again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back in here. And, oh, now there's water in here. Okay. And more shavers.
Oh, of course.
Duh. Should have seen that.
So yeah, we should actually have been listening to Peter the entire time saying follow the red light, since there was a red light here.
Oopsie.
Is it possible that Do you remember when we left this room,
Yeah.
was that red light on?
This one by the yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, okay. So then that's not it.
I think they're trying to tell us to go way
Yeah,
back.
that one was on.
Oh, let's see if we can do this without drowning.
Oh, here we go. There it is.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Now we need to find a way to get up over here to the other side. And we do that by cleverly using by doing the physics.
Right, of course. Oh, this must have been so cool when this game was new. Just imagine.
It
Like,
was
we can make things float and solve a puzzle using the physics.
It was super cool, but also super annoying because these things are really hard to stand on.
Like, yeah, we can do a physics puzzle, but should we? Nah, but it's okay.
That's
The-
interesting.
Like, I think every genre, like every era of games will have like, this is the new cool thing. We have to use this in every game now, even if sometimes you shouldn't.
Battle Royale.
But yeah, that is also a genre thing. So that's not really so much a technology. I think that's not really based on we have a new technology now that allows us to make these games.
Ow. No, I suppose not. If it sounds like I'm a know-it-all and also distracted, it's because I am distracted.
I'm merely interpreting you as distracted. So
Excellent. Listen, fellas, I don't want to be an asshole here, but I think you should stop shooting me with guns.
you say shooting them with a gun?
Well, I mean, it's only to stop them shooting me with guns, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's normally why people advocate that you should have weapons. They're like, no, we need the guns so that we can stop the people with the guns.
The only solution is to have bigger and better guns than the other people who are also having guns.
Exactly, and then kids have assault rifles, right? That's the end of that slippery slope.
Hey. Don't eat my face, please.
Oh, there we go. Actual face eaters.
They must have a name, like I used to call them something, but I do not remember what it was.
Like, we knew that they at the very least have some form of name because every single entity. Peter says if they didn't have guns, they would just hit each other with crowbars instead. It's kind of like you're talking that there's another underlying aggression problem going on here that's not just about the weapons.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it sounds like you're talking about.
Oh, we're safe. Got a safe zone.
Yeah. And we have a new area.
Hey,
First thing that
you're
happens
Freeman,
is,
aren't you?
oh,
we got word you were coming.
you say you have a safe zone, and then I
Bad
see
time.
some gunfire.
Black Mesa East to Station 6. Do you read? Dr. Freeman is on his way downriver. Lend him the airboat and give him all the help you can. Repeat, Gordon Freeman has returned. It is critical he reaches Black Mesa East.
Better get going now.
I don't want to. I'm going to stay here. It's safe.
Get out of here.
Stop wiggling. What are you saying?
This is a very interesting, like that scene there was very interesting as far as talking about creating safe spaces for you, right? Because it's been doing this. Oh boy. Again. Showing you that these are dangerous by dropping a bomb and killing 2 people in front of you. Showing you that we got a new threat in town. You're not being chased from behind anymore. There's like, blam! Here's a new thing. Now you gotta shoot these lovely little creatures. Gosh, I remember having nightmares about those when I was smaller.
Facehuggers, yay!
Exactly.
They're like,
No, but the point I was making about the room, you ran into this corridor, and there's a person who's shooting a gun at stuff to introduce an enemy to you. That's the first. It's not literally the first you get to see this enemy, because the first time you see this enemy, it's as an homage to the previous game, where it's like, look, here's a facehugger, but nothing actually happens. It's just part of a cinematic, like in the very opening of the game when you're in that teleporter thing. And now you get introduced to this enemy. First, you get to see someone else shooting the small enemy. So you see, like, okay, there's a new enemy. It's not like one of the ones I've seen before, because they're flying around in the air, or they're big enough that I can see them. That's your first introduction to this enemy, and shows you a good way to deal with them. Shoot them. I mean, you shoot most things in this game, but it does give you an explicit way to handle this new threat before you even see it. And then the second interaction you get with this creature is you get this tiny little beautiful scene. Some people are running towards you being scared, and then a bomb drops and these crawl out of them. So you get to see what they look like. You know what they look like now. But it's still in a safe environment. It's not a stressed out, pressured environment. And even after you shot some of them, I think you shot 2 out of the ones that came out of the bomb.
yeah.
Out of like 3. So they were not even gonna attack you at all. And that is textbook examples of how to introduce a new threat in a game. Show the environment interacting with it, show it from afar, like over there's a thing. Then you like let the players see the thing and understand a little bit what it is without being in danger. And then you get attacked by them. Then you throw them into an area where they have to deal with the problem.
Well, they haven't taught us yet that, like, I know people who played the first game, they know about facehuggers and crowbars. But that isn't something they've actually taught us yet, which is, oh my god, this is toxic water. I can't go in this.
They have not taught you crowbar.
No, but I think we can figure it out. But these do look like tiny, like tiny baseballs, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I think we've been taught enough to use the crowbar. They're expecting us to be able to figure out the crowbar.
And now we get a safe haven. And our first... you're gonna like this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dr. Freeman. I've been hoping you'd show up. Got this airboat all gassed
Here's the
up
safe
and ready to
haven.
go.
And we get a boat.
It's gonna be tough dodging civil protection out there in the open, but drive hard and you'll make it. You'll find more help up at Station 7. Just a few bends up the river. It's the old red barn. Climb on in. Fire her up.
I can't stop sniggering at Peter's stop wiggling.
Go ahead and get in the boat, Dr. Freeman.
You were wiggling there for a while.
I'm gonna wiggle some more.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Ah, oh my god.
Oh, that is slightly nausea-inducing.
I stopped.
Yeah, that's good.
So I know for a fact that there's a bunch of these. You can stop with it. You can get out of this boat and go do things with it, like on these small islands.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of health packs and stuff scattered around, which you can get. But nah.
Not feeling it?
Yeah, I'd rather just progress because it's this bit of the game is kind of tedious at times.
It's a little bit like, hey, we give you this toy. If you want to, you can play with this toy and explore an area. But that's not really what the game is about. I guess.
It's more, yeah.
Because so far I've not seen a single enemy. I've only seen mostly empty areas, and then a tunnel, and then most... Right. Peter, did you play the original game? And oh yeah, you mean who constructed the pods. I imagine this is something that we'll have explained when we get there. Because so far we're still in the whole, we're supposed to feel threatened and chased, and this is dangerous, and we're trying to follow this underground railroad.
Yeah.
So I imagine that we're going to get more of an explanation of what's going on after this segment is done. When we get, because like narratively speaking, the game can't really afford to tell us everything that's going on right now. Because then we're going to feel like, okay, we know what's going on, I got this. But if we don't know what's going on, then we're going to feel more threatened. That's what I'm thinking.
Did he mean like the pods that drop down?
Yeah, for example that. Why are they dropping down? Just bombing us with facehuggers.
I forgot I had grenades.
That was a pretty efficient grenade, I have to say.
Station 12, come in. Station 12, do you read?
Oops. Physics.
Yep, physics.
I think that's a catchphrase for this game. Doesn't need any further explanation. Just
No.
physics.
Half-Life 2, just physics.
Just physics. Hey guys.
Okay.
Math.
Yeah, sadly, Peter, I haven't really played enough of the first game, the first Half-Life game, to remember. I think it's something about it's another like dimension or something that Black Mesa research man somehow got connected to. If that was a success or a failure in the experiment, I don't remember. But I think the Combine are somehow related to that.
Okay, I can do a quick recap. It's not
Yep.
very complicated. Okay, the first Half-Life game starts off with you being the, you're the researcher, Gordon Freeman. You walk into a top secret government installation deep underground in the desert somewhere.
Yeah.
You go in to do your normally scheduled experiment, and everything goes super wrong.
Right.
Using lasers, and things go so badly wrong that there's a portal ripped open into another dimension where there's lots of monsters that want to eat your face.
Yeah.
And that's this first game, really. You have to get out of the strange research facility, and after a while the government decides to quote-unquote help by sending in armed troops, and you escape. And there's a strange man called the G-Man who shows up and basically freezes you in time at the end of the game. That's it.
Okay. That's interesting.
Oh shit. I forgot about this.
Jumping!
Get it back up. Yeah, it keeps... Damn. I completely forgot how fun this thing is to drive around.
That's probably why they gave you so much space in the beginning. Because there was a large area there. It was like, hey, here's some area where you can try out this thing. I have to say, this game is so much harder to trash than that Spider-Man game.
Not as much butt shots, for instance,
Exactly.
and face planting.
It's just like mostly what I see is well done level design. That's what I see when I look at this game. That and old resolution textures.
Was there much trash in Spider-Man?
And there was this much trash, or what did you say?
Yeah. Is it like comparatively badly designed? I realize they're different genres.
They're also from very different time periods. It's very different to compare because, like, we know a lot more about game design now than we did when we made this game. Because, like, you have to remember when this game was made, it was probably one of the best games of the year because it was so well designed. It was beautiful. It was stunning. It had level design that still is really good. It had like a lot of things was really good. And, like, quite frankly, when I look at that Spider-Man game, it also appears to be a pretty darn good game. It's just, since it has a superhero theme, it's real. Oh, hello, creepy alien fascist.
Gonna hit you guys. Yeah, we got the weird. I love the design of the alien ships here.
Yeah.
They don't look like at all human in their design. They've got this weird organic look to them.
Yeah. They remind a little bit of bugs. So,
There is a reason for that, which will become apparent later.
no spoiler, I suppose.
Ah!
Oh, you can write physics. When in doubt, just shout physics, and that's good commentary of the game. Oh, look at that! And then physics no longer applies because did you see how your boat just flew straight through these things? It didn't catch onto the boat; it only caught onto you.
Yeah, they probably. The boat probably tastes bad, I guess.
But a tire doesn't taste bad. Because I saw you feed them tires and they will happily eat it.
Yeah, that's true.
That is simply a physics thing. That's like, no, we'd not want this complicated thing up in the air. It's not good. No, actually, no, I'm wrong. It's not just that. It's also because they want it to be dangerous. And if it picks up the boat instead of you, it's not that dangerous. They want it to work that it picks up you. Because then it's the same experience you're used to having and it's the same mechanic. And they just, wow, they physics so hard that you couldn't drive straight into the thing conveniently and feeling as powerful as you could in the other ones. That's interesting.
Oh, let's see now.
Another thing they also seem to be doing really well is gradually changing your environment to make you feel that you're making progress. Because this does not look anything like where you started. It's still basically just you have a narrow street and you're taking that narrow street and killing stuff along the way. But now you can see there's a city you're leaving behind.
Here's the thing that Peter is discussing here about the sound design. They're echoing. The echoing, whining noises are haunting and beautiful at the same time, like a whale song. Oh my, that is. But no, I mean you're not wrong, Peter. It has, like when I climbed up the ladder just to get up to the place where I'm running around now, there's like bird song and stuff. So they're really telling us that now this is a safe spot.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm not getting set up is if I were to listen to the stream audio, I would get your audio twice.
Yes, that is an issue.
That is an issue. But I think I'm not very qualified to discuss. Like, I'm barely qualified to discuss level design, even though I do that quite a bit. But I'm really not qualified to discuss sound design. So that might be for the best. Oh boy. They give you this... Yeah. That's a great way to make you feel like this is creepy. Suddenly someone's sitting there with their face eaten off.
I've been trying to look into how to sort of convey the both video and audio to people who watch, but I haven't found a good solution yet, unfortunately. Oh, we got grenades.
Grenades is nice.
So this conveniently hanging thing here, do you think that this is the game trying to tell us something?
It might not be the game trying to tell us something. It might be the game being clever in the level design and it's going to use it later. I don't see it flashing red yet. It might be you're supposed to walk underneath it and then it collapses or something, or maybe it's just a piece of the interior design. Oh, there you go. See?
Oh shit.
The interesting thing is, I'm quite sure that all of my audio is lagging behind the stream a little bit. So I'm going to be commentating on something as I see it, and people on the stream will hear it after it happens. Right?
Let's see, if you're watching the stream and you're commentating on that, then you would be in sync with the stream.
No, because I'm going to be... So it's like, my audio is going to be sending from you. Right?
Yeah,
And
okay.
you have a delay. So when I see it, your delay is going to apply to my voice. So I'm going to have to be as far behind what I see on the screen as I am behind to you. So we're essentially going to get the delay twice.
This is
From
tricky.
your perspective, we're going to get the delay twice. From the viewer's perspective, my voice will be one delay after the stream.
This is a tricky business.
That is interesting. Oh yes, it is a very, very tricky business.
Now, what I think they wanted me to do here was throw a grenade to get rid of this guy, but I didn't. So,
Probably, but you just had good aim. They're also showing you that, hey, we have machine guns now. Now we can throw them at you in any level we want to.
I'm just wasting grenades.
Why not? You gotta use them eventually, right?
I'm gonna go back and get
You
more.
also have very little HP.
Oh yeah, thanks for. I know. I just noticed now. I keep forgetting there was like a charger here. Why didn't I didn't use it?
Yeah. See, you're not supposed to be low HP here. It's just because you didn't pay attention, I suppose.
Yes, totally. This is one of the few games that I can remember that where like bunny hopping actually makes you go faster.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly happy about that.
That is weird.
I do it in a lot of games, but this
Mostly
in
it
Quake.
doesn't do anything.
No, yeah, exactly. This in Quake works, and this works because, like, I think the Half-Life engine originally was like a mod of the Quake engine.
Right.
Oh, this is broken.
What is broken? Well, I'm about to see in a little bit. Aha!
Yeah.
I see. Now, this game, like, giving us a giant yellow sign. Oh, look, I see a red light. I see where we're supposed to go eventually. Yep.
Oh,
But
there it is.
giving us this giant sign over something, and this is caution, means this is important. So either we need to fix this, or we need to do this some other way. And no, yeah, the light is literally tell us what. So, that is a really cool, interesting scene. We get this. Place that we walk out into a thing, and there's this big yellow sign that says caution that we're gonna look at. Oh wow. You solved that problem before I had time to even talk about the problem. Well then.
Well,
But this is what I'm talking about. They're signaling you. They're showing you, hey, here's the problem. The controls are down. Red light. This is where you need to go. This is when you need to interact with. And then it can just show you in your environment what. So you have your goal in mind, and you've introduced that you have to come up with a creative solution somehow. And then you find this thing that you can shoot, and then it releases this beam. Thus, destroy the gate.
also, what they've told us now. I'm not going to talk about what they're telling us because I don't know shit about game design. But this is the first time that the light's been blinking and there's been like, oh, well, you progressed to the next area, but now there's going to be danger on the other side.
If they consistently use blinking, would start thinking about that. Oh, this is good. This is good. Because they taught you... Oh, this is beautiful. This is just... Where you go and you find that machine gun and you mow down the enemy. That just makes my designer heart happy to just see them reusing this environment in where the state, like reusing this environment in this way. That is really beautiful.
Whoops.
And see, this now, when you're going back into the room with all the trucks, is where you get to use that suspicious ledge you found hanging out in the middle of the ceiling.
Yeah.
You get to use that now to great effect. So they literally were planning on showing you this thing and planning on you being able to do that. Yes, Peter, I'll invite you into the conversation.
Oh, is he wanting in on the Discord?
Yes. So let me go here. And let me do this. That.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So there we go.
Let me just check your volume as well, because I think... Yeah, yours is also too low.
Of course it is. It
Mhm.
always is.
No, but that was me. I configured it. I lowered you both.
It's not you, it's me. So, hello, good friend.
Hello.
How are you enjoying our stream this evening?
Yeah, I've been enjoying myself.
That's good.
Reliving the action from the old days.
Scoffing at all of the idiotic remarks I'm making about game design.
No, not at all.
It's like I just find something very enjoyable about watching you drive around on this boat mowing over Nazis. It's just something, and that just speaks to my soul.
Yeah.
I just have to say. Oh look, fire! You need to be a cool superhero. Yeah, there you go. That's like a tiny level of the amount of cheese we get in the other game all the time. This is why it's so hard to trash this game. It's like, that is the first really big cheese moment we got. And it's just like, yeah, you lit a line of fire, no one's around to light the fire. We can clearly see that this is just because we entered into the zone. That's a trigger in the editor to start this fire, because no one was there. And then it conveniently just has this bridge for you to feel cool on. Because that's how chase scenes work in real life, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah. You see, like, this is the first time I get something actually cheesy to trash in this game. The rest I can trash is just, like, look at this, like, these textures, but how fun is this to talk about textures when I don't know anything about making textures for hours on end?
I don't know what you guys have against the textures. I love them.
Yes, in a nostalgic sense, but not because they're aesthetically pleasing or realistic, or it's like they look very cardboardy.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say they look cardboardy. I mean, for me, this is what a game should look like.
I guess
games
that's the point.
nowadays.
It's not cinematic enough.
No, that's exactly what I was aiming for. Games should look like movies.
Yeah. Like, that's one of the really, like, but movies are often beautiful. Ah, you solved the puzzle and now you got all the nice little legs.
Yes.
Beautiful. And look, it's gonna physics away again. Oh boy, we got a physics engine. We're gonna use it until you're sick of it.
I just want to check something with you.
Mm-hmm.
When you see me fire the gun 3 times in a row, Tell me how long time it went before.
No.
Okay, so that's about
Yeah.
3-4 seconds lag.
Yeah, something like that. How annoyingly delayed was my commentary previously, Peter?
No, I didn't realize that it was delayed at all.
So you're being
that's
very
good.
general, and so it's not actually noticeable. Not for me either, really.
Well, it's hard to talk about the specific moment. So I'm trying to talk more about, oh, did you see, like, I'm trying to talk about it slightly after it happens anyway, so that I know everyone will have seen it and I will know where it's going. In that sense, I'm hoping the delay will matter less. And apparently that's working out. That's great. So there we go. Are we done with the boat now? Because I want to go back to the really cool level design. I want to laud this game some more. No, we're still on the boat.
Let's see.
The most frustrating part about being a spectator on these streams is that the commentary that I give is even further delayed. So most times the things that I say are not, they're obsolete anyway.
Yeah.
That happened, I don't know, 20 seconds ago. And then sometimes Daniel don't even notice it until even 10 or 20 seconds after I've written it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Because you also have to type everything in.
yeah,
That is an additional limitation. Streaming technology is complicated. We're adapting to it, I suppose.
Though it is
We have to-
I
certainly
don't know what you're doing now, Daniel, because this is a whole lot of you bumping into the same place over and over again. Like, it's a little difficult to discuss the game design of the game when you're bumping into the same stuff.
Why couldn't you just unload at the dock right ahead now?
Oh, okay. There's a lock here. That's easily solved. Now I'm just being bad at the game.
You've got a crowbar. Yeah. Oh, look! Can you back off outside of the door a little bit?
Yeah.
I'll just wait for you to do that on my screen. Because when you enter towards that door, look at that scene. Do you see the color of the light? It's not red.
No, it's
The one time it's not red, you couldn't find the door. Or figure out that this is where you're supposed to go.
Oh yeah.
They're still lighting you, but it's not red, so you didn't know how to go here.
They programmed me too well. Now I'm completely.
I think it's... They might have... It might be that they made the lights red or something. Maybe they don't want to use the red lights in this place, because they feel like that doesn't fit the environment as much. But now we're back in the same kind of environment. It could also be that they playtested in playtesting, people did find this one, so they didn't need to give it the red light treatment. Like, make it stand out extra much. Because that is often something that will happen when making levels. You will, during playtesting, realize, okay, my players do not find this part. How do we make them find that part? Well, we just make the hinting stronger. Because otherwise, if you're just running around and don't know where to go, it's most often just frustrating.
Yikes.
And as I say that, you run into this really hectic fight scene and can say absolutely nothing to respond to it.
I'm disturbingly close to being killed by a helicopter again.
Yeah.
My old enemy, a copter. Oh shit, this is really bad.
I'm quite sure that having a helicopter chase you is how they're making you feel powerless. And that's very intentional. Because being able to selectively make a player feel like I'm powerless or there's something I cannot fight in a way that's not actually going to stop you to be able to play the game is a really big thing. Okay, so that came out a little complicated.
Oh damn.
The idea is the helicopter isn't affecting your ability to play the game significantly. It didn't actually do you a lot of damage compared to the other. But what the helicopter is a threat you cannot respond to, which shows vulnerability, like makes the player experience vulnerability.
Yeah, I like when they do things that have narrative meaning, but no real game meaning or system
Yeah.
meaning. So, for example, I love it that when the helicopter shoots at you, it's very, very powerful. It's this blue yellow light, and it's all over the place, and it feels like this is hurting me, even though you don't lose as much health from it.
Yeah.
That's great.
And if you think about narratively, what does this helicopter actually tell us? Well, it's again back at reinforcing this idea that you're being chased. Because we've all seen movies and stuff we've all seen on television when someone's being chased by a police helicopter, and that's how you know it's really bad. So that's the feeling they're trying to tell you, is like, hey, authorities are chasing you. These are not just goons, these are authorities.
This is the man.
Exactly. And in addition, it also provides you with this enemy that you have to run from because you can't face it.
Oh crap.
Because you don't have anything that can affect it. I think if I... Oh, exactly. Now it's gonna show it to you again up there. Through the windows, just to remind you that you are still being chased. Here's still this big scary threat you can't deal with. You still have to run. You might be able to shoot your way out of any situation because you've got a superhuman suit, but you still have to run away from this helicopter.
Oh,
But which game is this?
Half-Life 2?
So this is Half-Life 2.
Yeah, but so it's not one of the episodes.
No.
It's the first game.
Yeah.
Because I have these memories of like you being in the city and walking through the demolished buildings and stuff. But you've already done that then.
Yeah, that's right in the beginning.
Yeah. Because I can remember there was a couple of stairs that fell apart when you walked on them.
Yeah, I think so.
And then there's a cutscene where you get digged out.
Yeah, and oh my god. They totally swarm over you with the buttons and try to...
Oh yeah, exactly. That was a very
Okay.
strong scene.
Revenge time.
Yeah. I'm sure the helicopter must have some kind of weak spot.
Just requires enough fire, it appears. I mean, it's already burning, right? Oh no,
But
the helicopter is a
didn't let you
nemesis. The helicopter is a nemesis. We're gonna kill this later in the game. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh boy. That... Yeah. You just completed a chapter here. You probably just got through the majority of the Underground Railroad, because you defeated the boss of the Underground Railroad. Now is a good narrative point to let you be done.
Helicopter, you killed my parents! And now you come back for me.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. Like, that literally was a boss battle with an arch nemesis that's... Well, not an arch nemesis, but it is clearly a nemesis, because you have not seen the last of me, it said while it's burning and flying away. It's like, yeah, I probably have. But, you know, this is a game, you're gonna come back.
Yes.
See how that one looked very similar, but did not shoot at you, because it's not your arch nemesis. They don't need to scare you like that. They just need to remind you there's still a presence.
Oh yeah, now they're dropping bombs.
Okay, never mind.
They tried a new tactic. We've gotten a new nemesis.
Is this just a stage 2 of the boss battle?
Unless... But the helicopter was burning before, so...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
this
the
is
same one.
another helicopter, but it still personifies the
Yeah.
same threat, I think.
It personifies the same threat, but it also makes the point I just made about the helicopter being an arch nemesis sound
Yeah.
pretty premature. So, you know, just goes to show.
Let's see which way... Oh my god. I keep saying that because it's really... Oh no.
You went the wrong way.
I hate these sink mines. so much.
It's also fun to to think that, I wonder what has happened when you say that.
Yeah, like
Because
we
sometimes
hear
you're like, oh,
before
damn
we
it."
see it. Now I think I saw what happened with the sync file. Suddenly there was a very red screen because of the sync file.
At least now you have a head start.
Yeah.
Oh, not for very long.
Oh yeah,
I'm
right.
still
in-
thinking narratively about what is actually going on with these helicopters right now. Because clearly we're not talking about like it seems to not like I no longer believe it's a Nemesis type of narrative, even though it looked very much like it at first. It was like you are not seeing the last of me.
But I mean, it's the I guess it's the police force. Well, you have all these minions that you kill, and these are another kind of minion.
Yeah, exactly. But these, I would say, one way of thinking about the other one is that they're not in fact a minion. They're more like a dragon in that sense.
Yeah,
They break the rules of the game, which, in the sense that I can't shoot them, they don't die.
exactly.
That breaks the rules of the game because a lot of minions do that. So in that sense, they're more like an external threat. So maybe that's simply what we were supposed to learn in that other scene is, hey, these don't die. You can deal with them or fight, but we already knew they didn't die, so that's not really interesting. Because we'd already been chased by them. This one we would still be scared of and be chased by, even if we didn't have that showdown.
But maybe it was to actually deny the Nemesis narrative. But this is not your Nemesis. It looks
Yeah.
like it, but look, you've almost defeated it, and here's another one.
But then on the other hand, why would you set up such a strong Nemesis narrative if that's not the narrative you want, right? What is the purpose of the previous scene?
Yeah.
Because there is one, clearly. It's probably that it wants to tell you how to deal with this enemy before it makes it the main enemy of the game. Like right now, the helicopter is the main enemy. It wants you to be familiar with the helicopter and feel like you know what these things are before it is your main enemy.
I gotta wicked surf this pipe. It's really difficult.
You're struggling.
Well, yeah, it is actually difficult because this game has a physics engine that makes it difficult. In a modern game, they would not use only physics for that. They would like give you some help. I think most modern games would give you help to make that easier. At least, but I mean, it depends on what kind of game it is, of course. I think many games were more interested in the narrative than the challenge of driving this car.
But speaking of narrative and difficulty in games, we played one of the Deus Ex games on my stream the other day.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, there is you choose the difficulty for a game, and now I can't remember what it said, but it was like the lowest difficulty level was the story mode. It said something about story, and I think that is pretty. Well, it's interesting because that's. I wonder if you have to look at it that way. That if the game is easy, the narrative is more important.
I
For
think
the person.
it's simpler. It has to do with the fact that gamers don't want to say that they're playing on easy mode.
Yeah, that.
I honestly think it's that simple.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it says, "Hey, I just want the story. I don't want all the fuzz."
But I can't say
Because I
it's
can imagine-
simple mode.
No, you can't call it simple mode because then you're offending your player. If you call it easy mode, you may also be offending your players. But I also think that designers realized that playtest people were more likely to want to play on that if it said story mode.
But I'm thinking about the Doom difficulty levels with Hurt Me Plenty and Please Don't Hurt Me. Yeah, they had very well. They had names that were more or less, yeah, saying something about the player. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so you're one of the players that don't like to get killed.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. Daniel, how much do you want me to go into political theory on your stream? Because like we're verging on feminist territory here.
Yeah, fine. I don't. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, this is a discussion about toxic masculinity, right? It's about how do like that is my argument that gamers do not want to be seen as the kind of people who can't beat a game. And it's literally just about toxic masculinity, because it's an admission of weakness. So when you say easy, you don't really want to do that, because a gamer is supposed to not do that.
This went well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're talking about this serious subject, and then Daniel
And
just
you get
crashes
stuck.
into a chimney.
Is this another shining example of physics engine gone wrong?
Yes.
I think it's physics.
Is there such a thing as too much physics? And will it save us from the ever-present discussions of feminism?
Maybe this is one of those times where you.
This is terrible.
I think you should wait for it to fall and then go over it.
Please continue feminism, because I was quite
Discussion.
interested
Yeah.
in hearing.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, but seeing your boat thingamabob just tumble around on that was very entertaining. Right. No, the basic idea about gamers not wanting to play on easy level because relating to toxic masculinity has to do with admonition. It's partly toxic masculinity, but also partly just the gamer identity. But then, specifically the part where gamers are supposed to be hardcore. And I think this notion of gamers supposed to be hardcore, like that's the good thing, stems very much from toxic masculinity. This need to constantly show that you're better, this need to constantly show being better than someone else, which is an extension of the toxic masculinity to display dominance and power.
Yeah. There was also this image of the, I can't remember which Doom game it was. Maybe it was Doom 3, where the face, you if you chose the lowest level, it had a baby cap and I don't know what it's called. The thing that you put in babies' mouths.
Pacifier.
Yeah,
So that was really a way to say that if you choose this, you're a baby. You shouldn't choose this.
And I think that, like, again, I think the difference between these two games has a lot to do with how these games relate to toxic masculinity. Because Doom originally is all about that toxic masculinity. It is all about the gore and the and the manly and explosions and shoot 'em up, right? All of the scary and all of the gore. Not to say that you have to be a guy or you have to be, toxically masculine to enjoy gore and scary games. Absolutely not. But this is an example of how the game combines gore and scary and shooting and explosions with traditional toxic masculinity in a way that is seen as kind of, they go together very well in that sense. And I think in the other one, it's still the same thing. Calling it story mode instead of calling it easy is still, it's like acknowledging that there's a toxic masculinity thing going on here about gamers. Like, not only men, it's not just about toxic masculinity, because I would say that it's toxic masculinity's effect on the gamer identity in general, not just masculine gamers. I'm assuming. I don't know. It might be the case that it is only male or masculine gamers that have that problem, quote unquote problem. But it is basically how these two different games relate to the same thing, where male gamers are not supposed to play on easy. So you call it story mode because I'm just doing it because of story. It's not because I can't play hard games. It's because I want the story. It's an excuse. Or the other one is like, yeah, let's just reinforce this thing that I feel powerful when I play in hard mode, because I'm not like those babies. That's kind of the difference there.
Yeah, but my thought was, is it really? If I want a lower difficulty level, is that because I enjoy the narrative or the story more? And yeah, as you've said, that mustn't be the case at all.
No. I think it might. I don't think it's as much to.
You're Freeman, aren't you?
I don't see why it would because it doesn't affect the story more. It's just, oh look,
Safety.
But I guess it kind of clings on to what you are interested by as a player, because I hate, if there's one thing that makes me kind of stop playing a game, it's that if I get stuck in one location and can't progress. So I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the stories. It's just that I hate not progressing. I guess.
I think it really has to do with. I think it has nothing to do with the story and everything to do with the game designs recognizing a difficulty. A problem with players picking difficulties, they're too difficult for them, getting stuck and not playing the game as much and not enjoying the game as much.
Yeah.
And the difference, the strategy for dealing with that is to rename easy to story mode.
Yeah.
Because it buys into, it allows you an excuse to pick story mode without feeling that you're not as good of a gamer or getting your masculinity threatened or whatever it is that you feel. I think that's more it. Nor do I think it's particularly. I don't really believe that I don't expect the designers who are talking about this to make a gender analysis on this. On hey, why is it that gamers don't want to play on easy? They probably just noted that, hey, gamers don't really like to play on easy mode because it's kind of an insult. So let's not call it that. But analyzing why that came about does become interesting.
Hey, we got a gun on our boat now. Speaking of.
Speaking of toxic masculinity, how we make our boat better? We put a gun on
Put
it.
a gun on it.
We painted pink.
If you like it, we should put a gun on it.
Wait, wait, what? Is that like the FPS version of put a ring on it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's funny.
Okay. Hey, guess what? I got a gun.
You know what the game just told you?
No.
Yeah, exactly. You can hunt helicopters.
And you have an.
This is the narrative moment we were set up for. Now you get to chase them rather than the other way around. Now I get why they did this. It's kind of an arch nemesis thing, but it needed you to be threatened by that arch nemesis a little longer. It's not really the helicopter that's the nemesis, it's they wanted you to learn about the threat of the helicopter and wanted you to learn about just what having this machine gun on your boat means before you get it.
I think I've learned what the real enemy in this game is. It's physics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Physics is the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Half-Life 2, it's all about physics. The real enemy. Oh boy, what are they gonna do here? They're Exactly. You drove into an area where there were 2 gates, of course they're gonna close them and swarm in enemies. Of course. They're behind you. You should know at this point, enemies are always gonna appear behind you in this game, because they love doing that.
Also, at the point when you said they're behind you, you'd already seen them.
Oh,
And
of course.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, there's more.
Yeah.
Ammo.
Oh, are they making you ditch your boat? Or are
No.
they just making you go on a quest to figure out how to open it?
Yeah, we gotta open the gate somehow.
Yeah, because they would not give you a boat with a cool gun that they taught you how to use before you got it and set up this glorious narrative arc that you would feel powerful when you get this gun. Like, look, maybe we should talk a
Oh
little
Jesus!
bit. Like,
They're shooting rockets at you.
I saw that rocket. That was a rocket. That was close to your face.
It
Okay.
was.
Now they're introducing a new threat. Just when you've understood how to beat the other one.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about the narrative of this level, because this part has some really good, really strong narrative going on right now. So part of the setup for this is when you get the boat with the machine gun, you can now kill helicopters.
Oh, jeez.
And you've been chased by, like, they introduced the helicopter by having it shoot at you and be scary, but not actually deal damage first. We talked about that. Then they introduced, then they made you do some other stuff. Then they made you have this showdown with the helicopter where you learned how to kill it. After that, you were chased primarily by helicopters dropping bombs at you. They were very much allowed to kill you a couple of times. They're probably quite fine with that level being a little frustrating, because it makes you hate that fucking helicopter.
I'm having mixed feelings about this car too now.
Because it gets stuck everywhere, or?
No, about the car that's shooting rockets at me.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's it. It's not nice. Very rude.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
So
rude.
they've done all of that prep work just for the moment where they put the gun on your boat. So that when they've made you feel powerless for really long, showed you how just putting the gun, if you just have the gun, it's fine. And then they make you be powerless again without that gun. Driving around this boat, getting bombarded by this thing that's been mauling you. And then when they want you get help, you're really gonna feel powerful because suddenly you can beat that thing that just killed you a few times. I mean, sure, to some people it's not gonna kill you even once, I'm sure, but...
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
This game is still really, really fun.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with this excellent level design and how they're making you feel powerful and feel weak, how they're using... Like, what... Exactly. Because this is about you getting a power trip when you get this gun. They've set it up so that I get, like, not only do you get the gun, the first thing you get to do is drive through a tunnel and kill that fucking helicopter that can't even shoot it. It is a sitting duck that you get to fire at, so that you get to see, if it wasn't already clear, I can kill these now. I am powerful. And then they're driving you through an area, and while you're on this power trip, suddenly they trap you in a small area where enemies are coming from multiple angles, where you can't really... You have to use the boat to solve the problem, but you also are stuck. So it's like, in the middle of feeling super powerful, you then get that disrupted for a moment for this particular ambush, before going back to just this being how you play now. You just get to feel like, I'm cool, I have this boat, I shoot everything, and I'm kind of powerful.
Okay, I'm gonna
While
start
having
shooting.
a new enemy that's adapted. It's really interesting and really cool and really well done.
Oh.
And hello, our alien spaceship that we've been seeing a couple of times.
Oh no, we're...
Yeah, because it's interesting, because it seems like right now, the difficulty level of the game has dropped considerably. Right? Because what you're doing right now is not difficult.
No, this is...
Again, this is the game allowing you to feel powerful, really powerful, as a contrast to before, where you felt really harried all the time.
Now we're gonna... Now we have like a place to retreat that has a gun.
Yeah.
That's really useful.
And it's really... From someone who does a lot of games, a lot of design, and is currently working on a game prototype where the biggest thing I'm working on now is how to set up these narrative curves. Seeing this game do them so flawlessly is beautiful.
Then let's see. Come on, get out of there. Let's shoot some more stuff and drive some more things.
Yeah.
I love like that you're basically doing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but only with a hoverboat, grinding around and doing.
Yeah, that's what physics is for, right?
Yeah.
Except when you get stuck.
Tony Hawk didn't have a machine gun
That is true.
on his skateboard.
Tony Hawk also didn't have to deal with aliens trying to eat his face.
Not on a
Should
regular
have.
basis.
Would
No.
be a more interesting game.
Are you sure though? Maybe. maybe.
I would have watched it.
I think it would be a more interesting game if they talked about feelings. That's what I want in that game. That's generally speaking what I want in my games. Please talk about feelings.
What is it you do in those Tony Hawk games anyway?
You skate around and be a cool dude and do sick tricks on your skateboard.
Okay, feelings would have been great in that game as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't think these.
Like, throw in some romances and like have some like friendships with difficulties, and then they solve them, and you got a good game, right?
But where does the skating come in? I can't see it.
Like the skating, it's kind of like
just a
where does
backdrop.
but kind of like look at Life is Strange. Photography is just a backdrop.
Oh yeah.
Have you played as Life is
Skating
Strange,
can also-
Peter?
I have played Life is Strange.
I
As
haven't
well.
played it, but I know you. I think you've said that photography is one of the things that you do.
Yeah, you actually use it as mechanic as well, which is cool, but it's not as you could make. I mean, they made a follow-up game that uses a different mechanic instead of photography mechanics. So there's nothing about the way the core game is structured that requires it to be about photography, even though there is some artistic beauty to using specifically photography in that because of photography's effect on memory, particularly.
I haven't played the second one actually.
In both of them, one of them I've seen some. I've like discussed. I was playing it with a couple of game designer friends. Like they were at the time during doing their. I don't know if they get degrees for that. I guess they get degrees for game design school, but they were at game design school at the time, and we were sitting around playing that game, and we played through what is essentially their tutorialization and discussed what is going on there and just how cool it was and how well done it was. Because it's also another a series of really well done games. Not very good at graphics, but everything else really well done.
I was going to say that I've been playing Shadow of Mordor like crazy last month, and
Yeah.
I really like the game design of that because it has this very natural difficulty increasing curve, and it teaches you the game in bits. So like the whole game is like a tutorial, more or less.
Yeah.
And there's these small mini missions that, well, you have one mission for each way of fighting. So you have basically, normal fighting, stealth, and shooting.
Yeah.
So then there's a mission related to each of those three, and at each mission you're supposed to train at something, practice one of the features of that way of fighting. So even though it's it's really low on story, like the whole fighting thing. I mean, if you're supposed to play a game about medieval fighting, this is one of the best I've played. Because I mean, it is very similar to, for example, Witcher. I've only played Witcher 1 though, so I don't know how well done the other games are. But still, I mean, it has the same elements, and this does it really well. So I've been very excited by that.
Because that is also when we're talking about these games, we're going off on some extreme tangents talking about games.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do Half-Life here. But that is another thing I want to talk about, though, is how when you went into the tunnel up there, the one that you're trying to get at, and you walked into this toxic area where it's toxic water. That is a beautiful way to gate you so that you have to solve the puzzle before you can proceed, because you need your boat to travel over the toxic water. And it's already taught you how toxic water works, because I remember you specifically during the stream previously I can't walk into that, it's toxic water. You went there, the screen flashed bright red, and you took damage and realized immediately, toxic water, don't.
Yeah.
And now it's using that same thing it taught you to gate you so that you have to solve this puzzle. That is very interesting. Because otherwise, something that you normally do when you want to gate someone and solve a puzzle is you will literally have a gate that's closed that needs to be opened. In this case, they didn't do that. They did not have to limit your freedom at all. They just gave you something that you needed your tools with you to pass. Like, you can walk here, but if you do, you'll die.
I've got a cat.
And it's very interesting how if you walk here, you will be killed by an environmental effect. Is very different from you cannot walk here because you need to open the gate. Because this game has already done a lot of puzzles that are you need to do this so the gate is open. This was literally a puzzle of you need to go figure out how to open the gate so that you could take your boat over there to that place where there's toxic water. I don't know, that was to me that just seemed cool.
Boss fight time, by the way.
Oh yeah, where are you, helicopter? There we go. Yeah, see? Now we're not in some safe tower we can fire at our will and we will always win. Now we have to move and maneuver and everything. And now it's not going to run away just because you get one of its wings to burn, apparently. Or did it?
It's also quite easily defeated, as I recall, but I think it's going to start dropping stuff at me again.
Yeah, it's probably going to stage 2 and then start bombing you. So it was a nemesis then. Yeah, look.
Come on. Get back here.
So then I wasn't wrong about the nemesis narrative.
Oh my god,
after all.
this is terrible.
Oh! That helicopter is carpet bombing.
Okay.
Can you shoot the bombs in air?
Yeah. I think he's almost dead now. So
Cool.
I just need to not stop moving. And I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. So it's really interesting how much this is like a very traditional boss fight.
Okay. There we go. Gotcha.
It even has this pattern of moves it makes, right? So on the first pass, first it shows you stage 1, it shows you that it can shoot at you. And then it has stage 2, when you've fired at it a lot, it also starts dropping bombs. So it shows you, hey, I can drop bombs. And then after that, the final stage is it alternates between carpet bombing you, basically, and just throws out all of those bombs and firing at you. so that every other pass is the other one, so giving you like letting you know what to expect. It's almost exactly the pattern of so many other traditional adventure style and an RPG style bosses.
Let's see if we can pull this off. I sincerely doubt it. I'll try. Okay. So look at this thing. It's like we're leading up here. There's no way. You have to open it first.
Yeah. It's another gate.
I'm gonna find a way up there. Somehow. It's not here. I wonder where. Well, it could be the gate with the giant red sign and the red lights. And
Oh, it's the red lights again. Yep, that's the one you want. Do you see? Oh, there's the thing on the right. It has a red light on it.
yeah.
Let's see those first.
I'm just gonna raise the gate first.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Because
Yep.
physics.
So again, this does not quite fit with our this fits with our hypothesis of the red lights being used to guide you, but it still does not explain why there was that one time where the light showing you where you need to go wasn't red.
Oh yeah. That was probably felt like an exception.
Yeah. So far, it's been quite the exception.
I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna tone out, chill out, play for maybe 15 more minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll take a break.
That sounds good.
And now I no longer need water to boat. I can boat the boat anywhere I please.
That is cool.
Oh, something's happening here. Refill.
Refill.
Well. Okay, so we didn't actually need to get up here. It seems. We just were given the choice of refilling.
Yeah.
Or maybe. Can we drive through this? Probably not. I think this is the point where we have to say goodbye to our boat friend.
It could be. It could very well be. I mean, the boat has gone through an entire, the full narrative, right? You just defeated the Nemesis. The boat story arc is basically done. The only thing you're lacking is a painstakingly crafted, heartbreaking goodbye scene with your boat.
That sounds like something they would do in Portal.
Oh, they would, probably. In Portal, the boat would talk to you, I'm quite sure. It would probably make fun of you.
Mocking.
And then and it would probably start out making fun of you, and then it would start making fun of your enemies when you're supposed to be powerful. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh no, we're back here. Maybe it's not boat time for well.
Ah,
I
we need
spoke,
to find a way to open the gate.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, maybe we're actually going to get to have an actual fireball scene. Because the easiest way to do that would have the other main character, the woman, say goodbye to the boat or something. Because Freeman doesn't talk,
No.
as far as I remember.
Heartfelt goodbye to boat.
I mean, Boat needs a heartfelt goodbye at this point. Boat has, like, we've gone through so much with Boat. It's our best friend.
Is Peter still in the
Maybe-
Discord, by the way?
I
still
can
here.
check. Yep.
Doing stuff at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
But listening
That
intently.
makes sense.
Waiting
Listening
for my
intently
moment
who
to
was
shine.
talking about the boat. I take it you're not a boat person then, since you didn't feel this was your moment to shine.
No.
Time to say goodbye.
Well, I'm not sure yet. It would make sense to say goodbye to boat, but we might still have it for a while. Because it also makes sense to want to reuse an element that you spent so much time making, and that shows off your physics engine that you're so proud of so well. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh my god. And loading.
Wow.
Oh! Yeah.
Yeah, this boat has served us well, but I think Black Mesa East. Now we are actually. I can progress until the cutscene starts, but we're actually where we need to be now, I think.
Yeah.
And then we'll pause the game and stop.
Yeah. So we were basically just waiting for boat goodbye scene.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, like what do I want to draw parallels to Mass
Yeah.
Effect or something? Now we've done the boat loyalty mission,
Yeah.
and
It's time to do other stuff and never talk to Boat again, because Boat is always gonna love us.
yeah, now we're gonna do the trip into the wormhole and end up at Danger Planet, and now we're just roller coastered from this point on, or railroaded. Sorry.
I mean, I have to say, the one thing this game is railroading. But that is not a problem at all in this type of game. That's something you want, generally speaking. Right? Because it's basically been a corridor with some twists and turns, and every now and then you need to stop and figure out a way to open a gate.
You've made it here this quickly. Well, Eli is going to be amazed, not to mention relieved. I'm Dr. Mossman, Dr. Judith Mossman. I've been hearing about you since long before the Black Mesa incident. Oh, Black Mesa. I do so envy you working with Eli and Dr. Kleiner when they were at the top of their field. Ah, there we go. You can come through now. I'll take you down to Eli right away. He would never forgive me if I kept you waiting.
And we go to the save game.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That was intense, emotionally draining, I have to say, to just leave Boat behind like that. But I guess